Hey, how's it going YouTube? I'm back in the video, and today I'm going to be talking about, is Russell Westbrook the most underrated guard to ever play in the NBA? Now, some of y'all might be thinking, how can he be underrated if he was an MVP, and he's just, obviously a lot of people have him down as a top 5, top 7 point guard in the league right now, and it will probably be a future Hall of Famer. How can he possibly be underrated? Well, I think he's underrated in the terms that he's not like one of the all-time great guards, and why that, like, he's actually not considered one of the, like, top 2, top 3 guards in the NBA as of right now, as I think there is a legit case you could say that he is better than Steph Curry. Now, am I saying he is? No. Am I saying he's had a better career? No, but I do think you could definitely make a case saying that he is the best point guard in the entire NBA. Now, before you call me a Russell Westbrook bandwagon or OKC Thunder bandwagon, I do not like the Thunder that much, and I really could care less about Russell Westbrook. I just personally don't like how he's so underrated and how people do show him disrespect. So I'm getting to some reasons why I think he's very underrated and why people don't like him and everything, and why I think that he is like very underrated historically wise. So yeah, pretty much all that I'm getting into. So without further ado, without rambling on too much, let's get right into this video. Alright, so for my first reason for this video is going to be his stats. Now, when you're talking about Russell Westbrook, you pretty much have to talk about the stats that he puts up and how historically good they are, as only very few players came anywhere close to putting up the type of stats Russell Westbrook has put up over his entire career. And I mean, even if he was a stat padder like a lot of people are saying, which I'll be getting to a little bit later into this video, even if you were a stat padder, you can't just put that up. If you're trying to get stats and you're not that great, you're not going to be able to do what Russell Westbrook does, as he is only one of 2 players who ever averaged a triple-double in an entire season, and Russell Westbrook has done that 3 years straight now, and has now become the only player in NBA history to ever average a triple-double for 3 seasons straight, and I'm sure that record might go to 4 years in a row next year, maybe, and even if it doesn't, that record will be lasting for a very long time. And I mean, over the past 3 years, despite averaging a triple-double for the past 3 years, he's also been averaging 26.8 points per game, 2 steals per game, 10 assists per game, and 10 rebounds per game over the past 3 years. And this year, he's actually averaging the 19th most points per game among everybody in the entire league, the most assists per game out of everybody in the entire league, and the 11th most rebounds per game. And he has just shown that he can consistently put up record-shattering stats year in and year out. And like I said, even if you want to call him a stat padder, if you're not a Hall of Fame level player, you cannot put up the stats Russell Westbrook puts up. As I mean, the dude puts up triple-doubles, and it's not just like little light triple-doubles, it's like 30, 10, and 15, or like 20, 20, and 5. Like, he put up a 20, 20, and 20 triple-double up just the other day for Nipsey. So, I mean, you can't just do that if you're, you can't just, do that if you want a stat pad. This dude is an absolute beast, and his stats just show it, and stats and numbers just don't lie, and you have to put those into consideration, and when you look at how underrated he is. And, I mean, if someone like Steph Curry or LeBron James, if they average a triple-double for their 3 years straight, they would probably have 3 MVPs all 3 of those years, but Westbrook has made it so common for him to average a triple-double and put up these big numbers, and since he's such a big personality, and people, don't always like that, and don't always agree with having such a big and colorful personality like Russell Westbrook has, they don't even count it anymore. I mean, he won the MVP for averaging triple-double. He's done for 3 years straight and hasn't even been considered for the MVP since then, which I think is pretty ridiculous. As I mean, if you can win the MVP with that and he does it for 3 years straight, isn't that more impressive than just doing it for 1? So shouldn't he at least be considered for MVP? Now, obviously, James Harden and Giannis deserve MVP over Russell Westbrook this year, but I mean, at least consider him. I mean, at least talk about him as one of the best players in the entire NBA when no one else can do what he is doing as of right now. But now let's get into a second reason why I think he's extremely underrated. His career success. Now, despite him being with a very good team and very good teams throughout his entire career pretty much, he has been a big part of all those teams and been probably the second, if not the best player on every single one of those teams. As in his 11-year career, he has made the playoffs 9 times, he's made the finals 1 time, the Western Conference Finals 4 times, the second round 5 times, and has won the MVP trophy, is a 7-time All-NBA player, and an 8-time All-Star player while he's staying loyal to OKC. Now, that is very hard to do, as we've seen his counterpart in Kevin Durant, who was probably seen to stay with OKC for a long time to come. He left for Golden State, and Russell Westbrook could have easily done the exact same thing, saying, well, I mean, I don't have any more help anymore, I'm leaving. Instead, that year after Kevin Durant left, he put up one of the greatest seasons we've ever seen, which was his MVP season, so he stayed loyal to OKC, which is very hard to do, especially when a superstar like Kevin Durant leaves, and at the time, it looks like you don't have any future to be competing for championships, but also for 11 years to make the playoffs 9 times, that is very, very nice for any NBA player, especially for a superstar who's been carrying the load of many of those years, and Russell Westbrook. And I mean, to will their team to the Western Conference Finals 4 times and even make the finals. Now, yes, that was when they were extremely young and still had Durant himself and James Harden on the team, but I mean, he made the Western Conference Finals with Durant 4 times as well, well, 3 times as well when James Harden was off the team. So, I mean, extremely had a ton of success for any NBA player, especially for a superstar like Russell Westbrook. But now, why do people dislike him? Well, the biggest reason is because everybody calls him a stat pattern, but like I said earlier in the video, well, I mean, you can't be considered a stat pattern. Maybe he does chase stats in garbage time. I don't fault him for that. It means garbage time, what does it matter? Go get your board, go get your points if you need them. But I mean, in actual games, if he was a stat pattern and only cared about points and didn't give a fuck about winning, how can you say all of that when he's leading the league in assists per game? So it's not like he's a ball hog. It's not like he's just dominating the ball. It just happens. He's just that good of a player. So I mean, to say that he is stat padding is just absolutely ridiculous in my opinion, at least. And I just think he is probably the most underrated guard ever, and he will remain that way just because everybody has this notion that he is a stat pattern. Now, if you just think if Damian Lillard, Steph Curry, or even Kemba Walker, any elite guard in the league, if they averaged the stats Russell Westbrook put up, there would be almost no chance that they would be looked at the same. Because I mean, all those guards I just mentioned would be looked at as the best point guard in the NBA, future first ballot Hall of Famers, no matter what, hands down best guards in the NBA. But since Russell Westbrook is known as a stat pattern, as a big personality, and just all of that, I mean, he's not looked at the same, which is pretty ridiculous in my opinion. But unfortunately, guys, this has been the first video, so comment below. Do you agree with me? Do you think Russell Westbrook is one of the more historically underrated guards in the entire NBA? Or do you think he is just where he should be? How good do you think he is? Do you think he's a stat pattern? Do you think he's not a stat pattern? I want to hear all your thoughts in the comment section below. And if any video ideas you want to see me make in the future, comment those below as well. It would mean the absolute world to me. And also, thank y'all for all the support y'all been showing. I've been showing tons of support on the channel lately, and I cannot thank you guys enough at all. And I mean, if you do like the video, put the like button and subscribe button. That would mean the absolute world to me. Like I said, thank you for all the support. But I also have to give all glory to God, as He's the reason I'm here. He's blessed me, gave me all these blessings to be able to make these videos every other day for you guys. And really just help spread His name through these videos while doing something I love. It's just an amazing opportunity for Him to give me. And He has absolutely blessed me and put me in this position. And also blessed the people around me and my family, keeping us safe, keeping us healthy. And He's blessed me so much, and I cannot give enough praise to Him at all. So all praise to God, like I said, and yeah. But like I said, that's the first video, so I hope you like the video, and if you do like the video, put a like button and subscribe button. That would mean the world to me. And also, hope you have a blessed day, have a blessed day, so you need to have a blessed day. See you in the next video. Goodbye, boo. Blah, 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 blah.